Greetings, exalted ones.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Noisy Boy here, and I'm back with another Star Wars Battlefront II hero guide. And in today's hero guide, guys, I'll show you guys how to not suck with Rey. But before we get started, guys, if you guys are liking these heroes guides and stuff like that, and you want to see more, remember to smash the like button to support my channel. And if you're new to the channel, think about subscribing, because I love to hear your feedback and your comments in the comment section below. Now, in these guides, guys, I like to break it up into different categories. I usually start with weapons, base traits, abilities, star cards, and some strategies and tips that I usually use for these heroes in particular. So, you know what, guys, sit back, relax, grab yourself a beer or wine, and let's get into this. Our favourite Mary Sue is equipped with Anakin Skywalker's iconic blue lightsaber, which is strong enough to kill normal infantry within 2 to 3 hits, and is considered by many to be a bit stronger than Luke's and Yoda's lightsabers as well. I've found that the strikes, especially Yoda's ones, are a lot stronger. They seem to have that good width and attack, but her attacks start with like a crossbody slash with the odd kick, and it has like a very similar rotation to Luke's. Rey can constantly slash 7 to 9 times before running out of stamina, and comes standard with a saber block. Her saber attacks can also be buffed through star cards and abilities, which I will cover in a sec. But some of the few lightsaber wielders who can block, like you look at people like Yoda who does that force block, but you look at people like Darth Maul and he doesn't have a block, so it's actually really good with someone like her to have a block, because it's actually few and far in between. When it comes to her base traits, Rey is probably, in my opinion, the most balanced hero, and again, in my opinion, should not be nerfed or buffed. I just don't think she needs to be. I know her mind trick can seem a bit OP, but there are ways to get around it. Rey starts with 700 HP, which is the highest of the light side heroes, and with the exception of Chewie and Lando, who can increase their health through star cards. Rey's force jumps and dashes are again very similar to Luke's, and Rey's speed is quite adequate enough to keep up with the likes of Darth Maul and stuff like that, so she's quite fast. Like I said before, she's very, very balanced. Rey may not be as strong as Vader or as quick as Maul, but she definitely makes up for it through her abilities, which I will cover next. Rey, like all heroes and villains, have 3 abilities. Hers are Mind Trick, Dash, Strike, and Insight. We will cover Mind Trick first, and I'm sure every player in Battlefront 2 has had their frustrating share of being mind tricked. Rey's Mind Trick inverts the player's controls and also tends to slow their movement speed, giving Rey plenty of time and opportunity to destroy the player in question. This ability can also be buffed with star cards, giving it a bigger AoE or area of effect, and active time as well. People think it should be nerfed, as it also tends to send players off ledges, which can be very, very frustrating and annoying, but I'm 100% against this, as a single jump or dash to the side or to a jump to the front or behind can save your life from being dominated from this ability. Have you ever been in the middle of a fight only to be struck down in a blaze of glory? That was probably Rey's dash strike. Rey charges at her enemies with her saber pointed at the target, and if you're in a hitbox, which is a pretty big hitbox I might add, the opponent is knocked off their feet only to be wailed on by our female protagonist. Dash strike, when used, it gives Rey increased speed for the duration of the ability and can be used to initiate a fight or escape from an ass whipping. Dash strike can also be buffed with certain star cards to give it an increased defensive capabilities. Great for clearing rooms and corridors or dishing out some Rey love in hero versus villains. A pretty good ability to be used. I reckon it's underused a lot, and I mean a lot, but I'll cover a little bit more in the strategies and tips with this dash strike. And the last of her abilities, Insight. In my opinion, is Rey's best ability. It gives her and her teammates the ability to see through walls and other structures, or wall hacks, what we like to call it, giving other squad members and other heroes an advantage before the fight has even begun. But it also gives Rey unlimited stamina and increased damage for the duration of the ability, and with certain star cards she can have increased duration and area of effect, and to top it off with increased damage with her lightsaber. This ability is similar to Vader's Focus Rage, but with the wall hack advantage. Now this ability is pretty damn OP, and I'm pretty sure everyone else out there, especially combined with the fast sight star card, it can be a pretty dominant ability for her, and which pretty much sets her apart from pretty much every single other hero and villain in this game. Now let's move on to star cards. And when it comes to star cards, I have two different builds for Galactic Assault and Heroes vs Villains, but at the same time they're very similar. Now for Heroes vs Villains, I run Survivor, which should be in Galactic Assault and Heroes vs Villains, which whenever Rey defeats an enemy trooper, she regains 20 health, and whenever she defeats an enemy villain, she regains even more, which at epic level it gets 60 health back. So that's plenty for Galactic Assault and Heroes vs Villains. And since you're going around in Galactic Assault killing a lot of people with your dash and all that kind of stuff, and just general lightsaber slashes, you'll be getting a hell of a lot of health back with that one. Next up, I usually run Opportunist, which Rey deals a bonus damage to enemies affected by any immobilizing effect, including Mind Trick. So if you pop Mind Trick, then you actually successfully get it, you're doing an extra 12 damage, but this also includes shoeies like his what's it called, that shock grenade, and Lando's disabler and all that kind of stuff. But it also includes those too. So if you're in Heroes vs Villains and you've got Opportunist enabled, it doesn't sound like much. Like at epic it's only 15 damage, but every little bit counts, and you don't actually realize it, but it does actually help a lot. So trust me using Opportunist. And the last card is Focused Sight. Insight will be active for a longer period of time, and at epic level it's 7 seconds. Now the deal with Insight is that it gives you obviously wall hacks, but it also increases your stamina. We have an infinite stamina, and it increases your damage with your lightsaber too, so that comes in handy. If the longer that it's on, the more damage you can do. Also with Galactic Assault, I usually run pretty much the same. I'll have Survivor, I'll also have Focus Sight, but I'll also run Fast Sight. Now I know that sounds a bit funny. Why would you use Fast Sight? Well, Insight has an increased area of effect. Now why would that be good in Galactic Assault? Well, when it comes to Galactic Assault with Rey, I usually use her as like a defensive and supporting act. Like if it comes to just a 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, I'll obviously attack. But with Fast Sight, you can, at epic level, which I've got here with the Deluxe Trooper edition that I got, you get to see 50% further away. Now that's good for you because you get to see who's coming so far away, but if there are people further ahead of you or behind you, they can see everyone around you as well, 50% further. So it's more like helping your teammates, knowing where people are coming from a further distance away, so they can actually plan their plan of attack or defense, or even an ambush or a trap. Also special mentions to Deep Mind, which Mind Trick has a longer duration on targets that are revealed by Insight, which is pretty good for Heroes vs Villains as well. If you pop Mind Trick, it should give you plenty amount of time to actually cut down your enemy, which is something I can swap out sometimes for Opportunists if I'm not feeling it. Sometimes a lot of those blaster wielding heroes who try to take Rey at a distance is pretty hard to get pretty hard to shape up with them, so you want to pop them with Mind Trick and it'll give you 30% longer with them affected by it, so it gives you a lot more time to actually get in there and do it. So just thought I'd mention that one too. But also special mentions to Resilient Dash too. If you're using this one a lot, which Rey receives less damage while charging full dash strike, and at epic level it's 40%, so you're almost taking less than half damage while you're using this dash strike. Now I do use this dash strike a lot just to knock people over, but at the same time, if you're getting hit by, like, I don't know, you're getting hit by Boba Fett's missiles and you need a quick get out, Resilient Dash is a good way to do it because it increases your speed too, and you're taking 40% less damage. So that's a pretty good one too for Heroes vs Villains. Anyway guys, that's pretty much the star cards I use. So just an overview for Heroes vs Villains: a Survivor, Opportunist, and Focus Sight. And for Galactic Assault, I usually go Survivor, Focus Sight, and Fast Sight. Pretty good combination. Try it out and tell me what you think, and hopefully that really did help. So let's move on. Let's start with strategies and tips. Now this one is what I like to call the 1-2 dash, which is pretty much just a strike, a block. You pretty much want to bait them in, backstep and a dash. and if you can bait them into that attack, they should fall to the ground and should be able to wail on them pretty easy. This one works if you can time it perfectly, but it works well. Another tip that you may or may know is her dash strike ability cancellation. If you have a look here, you can do a dash strike as per normal. When you hit a wall, you stop. But did you know if you press the strike button or the trigger button, you can actually cancel that animation right in the middle. Now this comes in handy when you actually attack a hero, knock them to the ground, and then cancel it out, and then just wail on him. Those are the kind of things you actually want to be able to do, and if you can do that, you'll be able to dominate on the battlefront quite easily. And pretty much for any other tip I can give you, always keep insight up as often as possible, as it increases your attack and also keeps your stamina unlimited. Spam mime trick for the win. That's pretty much all the tips I can give you. Well, anyway guys, if you didn't mind this hero guide, hopefully you guys did like it, and it really did help, and if it did, remember to smash the like button and support my channel. Also guys, I'd like for you guys to comment Mary Sue in the comment section below if you liked it. And if you are new to the channel, think about subscribing, because I'd love to hear your feedback and your comments in the comment section below. I am your host, Noisy Boy. Thanks for coming on by, and as always guys, stay noisy.
Now, at the end, do you understand?